demonstrating your worth. Lovely to be connecting with you. I'm with my little shadow, the one I'm always happy to keep. My little QB who is in season now. I wanted to give you just a little bit of maybe few updates, few things that might help you, or perhaps reminders that might really truly help you and support you. Another thing that is in very much energy amongst the clients that we're working on, and let's wrap it under the umbrella of demonstrating your worth. Let's put it under that heading, demonstrating your worth. Within my mastermind, as you know, I work with established women entrepreneurs who are really already making great impact and income, really loving women, high-flying women who are here to really break the limits and be the lighthouse to many, and light up that path about how we can live. You know, similar to my mission, of course, in various different ways, And what's been coming up is how difficult it is at all levels of our business and income and impact and life, sometimes, to simply know that we're worthy of all that we want, that we're worthy of being really, really generously paid for our work, that we're worthy of being paid even when it doesn't require too much work. And I want to check it with you, because that's the truth, that's the sacred truth that we are innately worth of masses of abundance, that you shine with ease because that's who you are. So there don't need to be strength, there don't need to be overgiving, there don't need to be too much to receive largely, to receive hugely. And I think, and this might be very much cultural, it's only natural that I tend to attract lots of women because I come originally from Eastern Europe. Some of you are, that I see here too. And it's very much generational thing in Eastern European countries, where we've been taught to really be modest, always think of others first, do not put your head above the water, so to speak, do not stick out, you know, because it's not safe, so to speak. And basically just be a good girl and modest girl syndrome. I remember when I was a little girl, I liked how women in TV, sometimes they did this pout, you know, what you now called Instagram lips or something. It's quite funny. And as a little girl, I would go around house, it was in grandma's house, and I was just pouting, you know, because it felt like a grown-up thing to do, that a woman would do. And my grandma, oh my God, not only she really told me off, she made me kneel on a very harsh piece of wood for about an hour. If I ever see you pout or make yourself bigger than you are, this is what you'll get. So this is all to say that in Eastern Europe, and I'm not saying it's exclusive to Eastern Europe culture, that we've been very much taught to be good girls, modest girls, and stay in your lane, so to speak. So I know it's perhaps women, lots of women from all around the world can relate to it, but it's only very natural that I tend to attract women who have got this theme in their energy. And I feel like it's not just our right, divine right, but it's almost our duty to break this paradigm, this cultural, generational paradigm of how we women should approach our worth, how we women should go about making success. So really, while my gorgeous women in the mastermind, yes, they're making huge impact in their own communities and working on the business growth and scaling the impact, there is a lot of work around let's demonstrate the higher level of self-worth, because that's one of the greatest gifts. We cannot just give ourselves as women, but it must inevitably, positively reflect in our immediate families, the people we love, because we can shine our light more brightly. Our boundaries, personal boundaries, are inevitably stronger. Same in business, we charge more appropriate prices. We tend to get things which much more ease when we stand in our worth and when we demonstrate our worth. And very importantly, we inspire others to step into the greatest level of worth too. So it's one of the most important things, I think, for us women and change makers, those that are driven by making impact. So, but it's sometimes tricky to understand, what do you mean by demonstrating the worth? And this is the challenge I gave my mastermind, and I said, I will join you. And I would like to extend this challenge to all of you. Demonstrating your worth, it's about, number one, doing something for you that will, because you're worthy, because you're simply worthy of it. And ideally, it's things that you either haven't allowed yourself to do before, or not often enough, or not, So it can be absolutely anything, and absolutely anything. It's so unique, and I'll give you examples, of course. But secondly, demonstrating the worth, it's also about sharing this. And so this is the part of the challenge. Share this with your communities, is how you demonstrated that worth. How exactly are you doing that, embodying the higher level of self-worth? So, and this is where there was a lot of like, fuck, because that's sometimes even the harder part. Yes, I go to that a lot more luxury house because I can, and I'm worthy of that. That's what I choose. But sharing that openly with others, it's sometimes for us even more tricky, right? Because who am I? What will people think? I will hurt them, etc., etc. But it's equally important, because it's in there where we allow ourselves to shine our light fully, when we are unapologetically ourselves and embodying who we are, our true value. And in that's so magnetic, number one, for the business. It's so magnetic. Number two, we're inspiring others to do just the same. Yes, it may trigger some people, and that's okay. That may be part of that stepping into the higher level of worth. That's fine. So that's equally important. And along the way, we must let go of some self-judgments that cause that, my goodness, I don't want to share this with others. Otherwise, we would drive ourselves mad, right? So it can be a deeply transformational process. So question for me would be then, how are you going to demonstrate your self-worth? Do something for you. And it can be truly individual. So I'm going to share with you what this thought process led me to do, and some things, some action steps to take. So it was after that last mastermind session with my clients that I simply had a question on my mind. How can I demonstrate the higher level of self-worth to the universe within? How can I embody it? What can I allow myself to do, be, have? And one of the first things, and this came like a logic things, well, it's easy. Maybe I could go and get myself a 5,000 or 6,000 or whatever Chanel bag. I don't have a Chanel bag. And I thought, well, that would be demonstrating my worth. logically. Except I'm not really into Chanel bags. I'm not saying it's wrong to be into Chanel bag, but it's not my way to embody I'm worth it. I would buy it because I think I should buy it because everyone talks about Chanel. You deserve the Chanel bag, you deserve the best brands, etc., etc. And the truth is, I love luxury, but I kind of don't give a damn about the brand. And again, I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's just, it is. So what one of the first things I did, I said, fine, but instead of that, what else can I do that I truly want? So I went and spent good amount of money on some really beautiful decorative trees for the garden, and looking for a statue that will make me super happy, like something for me, something from my garden, something big, something meaningful. And that was one of the ways how I kind of demonstrated my worth. Second one was, and I'm give you just some examples, more intangible. One of my clients offered me a little remote healing session, and actually I would like to give a little shout out to Ilona. Ilona, Silbert, I don't want to mess up your surname, incredible channeler and healer. And, because I've been a little bit unwell. And she offered it, and I said, no, immediately, how can I do that? I'm her coach. Whereas I realized that I'm talking from my ego, and I'm actually worthy of receiving support even from my clients. I'm worthy. So I contacted Ilona, and she very lovingly gave me this beautiful healing session. It was absolutely wonderful, and thank you for that. Absolutely thank you for that. She's hugely energetically connected. So I'm really grateful for that. I did things like, don't take me wrong, I do demonstrate the self-worth, I would say quite regularly, but as I said, sometimes I forget myself, etc. So I did things that light me up. I booked another photo shoot. That's one of the things that light me up. Now, photo shoots to me are really incredible. I love photo shoots. They're tiring, but I got around that because when I did like a full day, all right, are you gone, QB? Where are you? When I did like a full day of photo shoots before, so that would tire the hell out of me. That's a lot of energy output in a day. So how I do photo shoots nowadays, it's we always do some fun location that I haven't been before, and we do half day, and then we do like a really nice girly luxury night, whatever, girly night. So it's always incredible experience. Last time I've been in Cornwall with Sarah and Tatiana. So now I'm planning to do something luxury in London. I'm looking something, with one of my closest friends. And of course, my favorite photographer. So that will be in a couple of weeks. So I'm organizing that. So that's my way, how I demonstrate. It makes me feel good. It just makes me feel good. And the major way, and this is how it kind of trickled, the trickled up or trickled down effect of this powerful exercise is, as I've been guiding myself with this question, how can I demonstrate or embody the high level of self-worth where I've been not doing that, let's say, that's another good question. And it just happened yesterday with one thing or another. Before I went to, when I went to bed, I had just a lovely, amazing day, and I hit the pillow, and this question came to my mind from one woman. I was having a coaching conversation with one woman about courses, programs, not live programs, but selling courses energetically, like a ready-made program, so to speak. And as I hit the pillow, and one of the things I advised her basically is, it's worthwhile to review from time to time, few times a year even, how energetically lit up and aligned you are with that which you're selling, because we're evolving fast. And even though, it would be quite a lovely idea to have a linear static business and just sell same thing all the time in the same way, because that gives you that sameness and predictability. Really, especially if you want to make limitless impact, it's never quite the same experience. So it's always worthwhile to look, what might be perfectly aligned 6 months ago may not be totally aligned today. So, and as I hit my pillow, I said, the question occurred to me, when did you review that last time? And I said, shit. So I kind of sit up and said, gosh, embody my self-worth, bloody hell. Some of these courses you purchase, and that's why you're here for, no longer, the pricing of them are no longer simply aligned. That's not embodying my worth. I've got energetically aligned AF, where I'm giving my life work, and it's just not priced properly in regards to impact I want to make and what I want to activate by you investing in those courses. Create your super seller programs, sales on demand, or the launch and sell out bootcamp. Launch and sell out bootcamp is the process, energetic process I use to create multiple six-figure launches. It helped countless of women to create multiple six-figure launches, which much greater is before. And I said it for what? 197? Not aligned. So, as in, I'm gonna demonstrate my self-worth, and not even though, because this has been my little excuse, misalignment in my mind. Oh, well, because I'm not delivering them live, there should be cheaper. Huh? Can you hear me? Is that right? Is that right? If you're not delivering some program live, they must be cheaper? What a crazy way to think. No. My programs, even though they're not me, our programs, I always suggest to disassociate ourselves a little bit from our programs, what we sell, or from our service, what we sell, because, when we connect to it, then it's like, oh my God, buy me. It's like we're a horse, and we're not a horse. We're conduits of our programs, we're conduits of our service. But we're always the conduit, so our self-worth will always impact how we think of the worth of that program, right? So that's not embodying the self-worth, full self-worth, by discounting programs because I'm not delivering them live. They're powerful programs, powerful experiences that can help people a lot. So I decided immediately today, when I woke up, I decided immediately and told my team, we're gonna reprice a lot of things, and change the way I market even, right? So some of it can happen immediately, some of it cannot. So, so one of my team members is already putting perhaps some of the courses here, that if you don't have them, grab them, because we will be aligning them where they need to be. It's not to say that I'll never ever do some like special offers or anything like that, but there will be special offers on a higher fees. And, so I will be bringing on still some special offers, of course, but on a higher fees. So it's very much this idea, embodying and demonstrating the self-worth, led me to review my marketing too. And that's one of the ways how we can do that, right? So yeah, that's my way. And there is a lot more, but these are just some examples. But I think what's most important is you, and how you are going to be embodying and demonstrating that self-worth, demonstrating to others as well. So that's the question I would love to propose to you, right? It can be big ways, it can be in a ways that stretches you, it can be in a small ways, intangible ways. It can be some changes in your business, changes in the way you serve, changes in the way you market. It can be better boundaries. It can be in many, many different ways. Anne says, I always thought I needed to price less for non-life programs. Thanks for reframing. Look, all the ways of thinking are valid, but when you make that assumption, is that assumption aligned with the greatest level of income impact that we want to make? No. Remember that our life and success is truly made out of our assumptions that very much inform our energy. That's the difference between like a mildly successful and a wildly successful life and business. Our assumptions we make along the way. One of the key things that causes the difference. So it's good to reevaluate our assumptions altogether. And I tell you, you know, that was like, what a F, you know, from no. The programs can be incredibly powerful. Does it matter that you recorded it sometime in the past? You can still look at it. You can still, we always create in now. When you offer it, it's still in now. You can always tweak it slightly, bring it into now. You know what I mean? So anyway, so that's that. And one more thing I wanted to mention on that, that is very common for us energetic entrepreneurs, I said, right? That don't want to do just strategy alone, because that can be quite limiting and exhausting. We've got to be ready to change and shift things. I know my marketing team won't be, well, I'm not gonna say they won't be too happy, but you know, I know they say, but hold on, but this, because some of these, you know, we've got lots of funneled courses, you know, that bring you and lots of new clients, readers of the book. So there, you know, it's profitable funnels, etc., etc. So why make change when it's working, right? Well, you make change when it's time for that upgrade, greater value, greater impact. That's what we're here for. So we make changes as we're feeling nudged, and those changes can be done quickly. Maybe not immediately, but it can be done. So it's good to move with those changes as quickly as you can before you talk yourself out of it, I would say. I've been along my journey, entrepreneurial journey, a few times in a position when I literally scrapped everything that I was putting out there in terms of the funnels. From one day to another, I went like dry, you know, but it all came back to me many times fold. So it's not to say that I ever stop completely selling. We don't, because selling is the highest level of service. But it's okay to make changes how we sell, how we serve, how we market. And it can be quite fun to go through those changes, right? So yes, these are my reflections for today. I think that's plenty, right? We could go on and on, but I think that's plenty food for thought, enough updates, and a little challenge, right? To move with your worth, your impact, income, grows in direct proportion to your desires and acceptance of your worth. So I'll leave you with that thought.